Getting really close. He's got to finish up this area. First, this massive air duct. We're going to have to wiggle her in. And yes, I did clean the throttle body while I was here, so it was just a little bit dirty. Okay, so that just pops in there. And there's a stud right up here. Alright, so we found the little airbox screws. Excellent. Okay, so now we have this all situated, ready to install the battery tray. Alright, now for the battery tray. So this sucker kind of drops in, and then we have like 100 clips to take care of. So we'll start with these clips for the mass airflow sensor to the airbox. Actually, we can just plug that right in here, and then drop this guy in. Okay. Looks pretty good. Line up our screw holes, and we can even attach some of these wiring harnesses right away to make sure they're routed properly before we bolt the tray down. There's this one computer plug down below the computer. Let's see. You can even lift the tray up a little bit to find the right hole. There you go. Very important to find the right hole. They're not always compatible. There's that guy. Go through live close-up shots. Got this guy right here. It's always nice when they clip into their home. A lot faster than unclipping, for sure. And this transmission wire for the transmission control module. That's right here. So leave that unplugged for now. And I think all of our clippies. Oh, okay. Negative battery cable goes right there. Sweet. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4 holes. And this one, I know there's something there, and I have the bolt for it, but I don't remember what bolted down, because that nut is just attached to the battery tray. So maybe we'll just put a bolt in there, and worst case scenario, we can always take it back out. We'll start threading them by hand to avoid any strut thrippage. I know that's the proper way to do it. And we'll just buzz these down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. See, that one looks cleaner than the rest. Okay, let's plug in our modules. So before plugging stuff in, especially these big bulk connectors, I do like to get some compressed air, take off our little baggies there, and just kind of give it a little blast, and then just clip it right in. Now let's see that connector. Did it close in on itself? It might have. Where's the clip to release it? Or no, that's good. So once we push it in, there we go, and we'll start closing, and it should snap and click. Beautiful. Now 3 connectors at the PCM. Down there. We'll start at the bottom. There's the first one. one, and the second one right here in the middle. Kind of sucks it right in. Silicone seal should do the trick, and that's it. PCM's plugged in. Transmission control module is plugged in. What are we? Just the battery and the air cleaner. The air cleaner, this big plastic contraption. Towel out of the way and kind of snake it in here. It should be easier to clip in than it was to undo. Looks okay. I think that just hangs out there. We have 3 holes in the front, 4 plastic clips. Grab these guys. This is satisfying, kind of the final countdown to, well, there's not much left of that one, so kind of a placeholder. Awesome. Who's ready to hook up the battery? Let's get this guy over here. So the tray. Right here is locating dowels. There. Sits nice. Positive and negative. Yeah, it looks perfect. So I'm going to get these hooks in here. Okay. So hook that on. Buzz that down. This guy on. Are you excited, Pat?
I'm excited. This is the hardest part about replacing a transmission, is putting the battery back in.
Not quite, but it's got to be done. Okay. Good enough, good enough. Napa batteries. You have one in your Saab, right?
I do. It's lasted 2 years now, I think.
You keep running your radio with the with the car off.
Without the car on. Slide around to the other side to get action footage of the negative battery.
It's gonna spark. What do you think? Is this transmission shorted out? Dun, dun, dun. Is that it? We ready? Oh, wait. Stop. Cut. No, don't cut yet. We have to remember that pinch bolt on the transmission or the steering shaft under the dash. We gotta take care of that. So let's leave this for now. Go under the dash. Alright, so if you remember, disconnected the steering coupler in like part 2. Here's the bolt and that funky nut that was crimped into the coupler. Okay, so here's our intermediate shaft. It actually extends, and as one viewer pointed out, we have to make sure that we did not spin the steering wheel while the rack was out of the car, because that could definitely damage your clock spring. Because the wires in here are wound around just enough times to, to make it possible. But this coupler, I didn't move the steering wheel, so the coupler should line up with that steering shaft. And our wheels are in the straight ahead position, I believe. Let's double check that. That looks pretty straight ahead. Maybe a little to the left.
You want me to move it?
Well, you can't.
Oh, yeah.
Don't touch the steering wheel, Pat. I was just saying that. Don't you listen to my commentary?
I'm just checking to see if you're on your toes.
You can't move the steering. You can't move the wheels with the steering shaft disconnected. So, right there is about our position, and the pinch bolt will, center that properly. Now, tricky part is getting this fancy bolt and nut combination back on the coupler while it's on the shaft, because once this dowel is on, remember, we can't take the shaft off, and there is, you can see right in here, there is this centering pin that'll go into the back of that shaft on the steering rack. So I don't know if I want to bend these, you know, straighten them out first and then insert the whole assembly while it's on there and kind of crimp it with pliers or something, but it's got to be done on the shaft. Alright guys, I just realized something. This nut was not meant to be taken out of the coupler. What goes on here is actually quite interesting. We have an O-ring right there, and when this bolt tightens the nut, this thing actually gets pressed in. See, pressed in. So when I took it out, the dowel, you know, this nut was far out this way. I'm like, well, how the heck do you get it off the steering shaft? Apparently, you have to push the nut through this way, and the O-ring comes out and holds it there. And now the actual nut is a lot further in this way, so you can slide the coupler off the steering shaft. So that's the way it works. So we can actually crimp the nut on to our coupler right now. I'm going to take the bolt out and just get this guy on there nice and tight, and then we should be able to slip this right on with this gadget in place. So we're going to press this guy back on some channel locks like so. Now insert our fancy nut. Uh-oh. Wah. That's you can't insert it this way. It's got to go in
one step at a time
before you crimp it back on. All right. See if you can just grab it, slide it off here. There you go. I've never seen a coupler like this. Usually it's just a nut and a bolt. But no, I guess the newer cars have to be fancy and special. And this guy only has like one direction to go in. Okay. It comes through, and the O-ring supposedly presses through if it's being good like that. So we want it all the way in. Now we can pop it back in here. Hopefully your nut goes in nicely. That's what it's supposed to look like. And this guy, beautiful. So that dowel is all the way indeed recessed. You can see straight shot through, so we should be able to slide it right on our shaft. I can get you guys in focus. In focus. Okay, that's the shaft. Turn our steering wheel a little bit. Oh, look at that. Right where it wants to be. Special bolt. Don't worry, I'll tighten this down so it'll never ever have to come out until the next transmission goes bad, right? And it is something big. Alright, it's a 16 millimeter. We are going forward. This is a critical safety component, guys, so torque accordingly. Click. Good. Excellent. Now this guy, I'm wondering if I should like tack weld it or something, because you know this prevents the nut from coming all the way out. And if it's not, you know, if I can just take it out with my fingers, then it's not really serving its purpose. Oh man, I don't want to get the welder out, but safety item. I'm going to get a lot of flack for this if I don't attach this to this. So I think I should do that. Alright. This is quite the camera shot. We're welding inside the vehicle on this little steering coupler because we want to make it right. And this is my wife's car, so she's the most important person in the world. 1, 2, 3. Oh. So it fused to both pieces, but I didn't fuse together. Let's see if we can fuse these two guys together. Okay, I think I am happy with that. She's gonna have some nice welding smells in the Rogue after this little debacle. And just to verify, stuff out of the way. We'll put our pliers on it and make sure that nut does not go anywhere, this outer casing. So, definitely, yep, I like that. Just one spot weld. I don't want to mess with getting too close to the rubber here. Sweet. And let's not forget to put our little cover back on here. How does that go? Oh, I don't even remember. This way maybe, somehow? I'll just leave it like that. And there! Remember on one of the recent videos on the mass airflow, when we unplugged it and let the customer just take it like that, for several reasons. He's like, Ivan, you're not a real professional, you don't take pride in your work. Well, I do, and I just use common sense, and sometimes that's the solution. Just, you know, don't want to get too excited about it. There. Good deal. Make sure nothing hits. Perfect. Now we can connect our negative battery terminal. Oh man, this is it. This is the last piece of the puzzle. We've had this battery disconnected for about a week, and the car is, all the memory should be reset in all the modules. So let's plug in the scanner and go right into our transmission control module and at least see if we have fluid pressure in here. I'm not sure if it'll go into gear. It needs to be flashed at the Nissan dealership, so I guess we'll either have to tow it there, or if it drives, you might be able to like limp it there, but the safe thing to do is actually get it towed. Alrighty, let's load up our Rogue. It should be in our history. Should be, well, let's see, search Nissan 2010 Nissan Rogue 2302, that is us. So those are the same. Okay, that's the most recent scan. Activate. Activate defenses. And see, what key do we need for this guy. Let's try engine, California. We need a K17 in here. Just plug that in real quick. We got the K17 key in. All right, we got some clickies going on. Let's just go under our engine just to make sure we have communication. No DTCs, good. let's go to our transmission. Continue. Codes only. I don't know. This thing might have remembered the codes from last time. Let's clear these out. Okay. Codes only. Wow, actually remembered them. You know what? Let's go into our data stream before starting it and look at our line pressure. Wow, nice. Primary hydraulic sensor. So let's start it up. Oh, it hasn't run in a while. Oh. That must be the pump pumping some fluid through. Now, before we get too far, let's check the fluid level in the transmission because it was almost all the way full, but let's just double check it just to be safe. Pop the dipstick out. And we got nothing on here, so let's get the funnel out. And the dealership was kind enough to give us a case of transmission fluid. Right there. Nissan Continuously Variable Transmission Fluid NS2. This is what this car calls for, and nothing else. No aftermarket stuff. It does smell different than regular transmission fluid, and it's like this clear green color when it's new, and at 185,000 miles it turns kind of black. So I'm putting in 1 quart. We'll remeasure and we'll keep topping it off until we get a reading on the dipstick. Alrighty. Alright, so I put in 3 quarts of the NS2 transmission fluid, and we are just about in the middle on the dipstick. That's where I want to leave it for testing. I know there's a special procedure and you have to fill it at the proper temperature, all that jazz. But let's get back in the car, start it up, and see if it goes into gear. Reverse. Nice. Neutral. Drive. Sweet. Low. We're in park. Reverse. Let's see. Ooh, it moves! Hooray! Okay, that's a very good sign. Definitely made the right call on the transmission. Let's go into our data again. Zoom in on this guy, and well, our primary hydraulic sensor still reads 0, so that might be an unused data PID. We could, go back to that little connector on the transmission and double check there. But definitely have action. Let's see, exit. I want to see if we were setting any codes. No DTCs. Now I wonder if this thing is drivable or not. Let's see, TCM. So that's our TCM part ID. Work support.
Body headlamp.
Initialization. Calibration. Let's see, exit initialization, select calibration data, print or copy data, before and after comparison, da da da. I don't know what that is, and calibration data. This is what is inside the TCM right now. Okay. So what I want to do is, if it's not setting any trouble codes, we can take it for a short spin, and if it drives, then I don't know, maybe this EEPROM was already calibrated. I'm not exactly sure, guys, but all I know is it moves, and my wife is going to be really, really happy about that, because I think she's a little tired of driving the MPV. So I think that's it for, what is this, part 4, and if I do end up taking it to the dealer, I'll bring you guys along, and the transmission, or the teardown of the old one, should be coming up real soon. I haven't really decided yet. It's an $800 core. If I tear it apart and not put it together quite right, they won't give me my $800 back. So I'm not sure exactly how to play that right now. I was thinking of doing like a $1 fee for the video just to cover that cost. But you can tell me what you think in the comments. Otherwise, thanks a lot for watching the series. I'm off to eat some chicken wings, drink some beer. We're done. Have a great day. See you next time. Bye-bye. Alright, little bonus footage. Again, there's nothing in the dipstick, so you know, the torque converter filled up, everything filled up with fluid. So we're going to dump some more in just to get it back in the safe zone. So now we're back on the full mark. We added 1 more quart, so I guess from here to here is about a quart of fluid, and we have 1 left in reserve. Now let's hop in the car and, I don't know, take it for a spin. I just want to see how it drives before doing any calibration, reprogramming, all that good stuff, and see how it drives. All right, test drive time. You would think if the calibration was off or if something wasn't programmed right, it would just instantly set a code. When I talked to Keith, he said that it might not even go into gear. Uh-oh, I hear a brake shield rubbing. That's a little embarrassing. Ah, so seeing drive? Yeah, it needs to be recalibrated because it barely wants to go right now. It's interesting. But at least it moves. So I guess we're not test driving it. But we do have to fix that brake shield. And we just want to double check if there are any codes in here because, I don't know, the slip rate or something. Let's exit out of here and look at codes. No DDCs, apparently it's happy. So we do have to take it to the Nissan dealership and have them work their magic because yeah, I guess it's drivable, but it's not going to make it up any kind of incline. It was really struggling to get going. So that's it. Bonus material. We'll be back. See you guys next time. Bye-bye. So Nissan Rogue wrap up here. Before taking this thing to a dealership, I just want to poke around with the launch scanner to see what features are available in this transmission control module in terms of recalibration, the fluid life monitor, things we need to reset. On all data, looking at the service procedure, so inspection after installation of the new transmission, check for leaks, warm up the engine, make sure you're not leaking coolant or CVT fluid. So we already did that. And then adjustment after installation says erase CVT fluid degradation level data. And then also when replacing the transaxle assembly, erase EEPROM in the TCM. So we need to do both of those things, and we can follow the instructions here. So those are the menus that we should have in the OEM scanner, and we'll see if we have these in the launch. So there's work support, self-diagnostic results, data monitor, CAN, ECU identification, and special function. Okay, so work support mode. So let's try to find this work support. So we are in the TCM. There's the ID for the module itself. And here we have special function, function test, version information, read data stream, clear fault memory, and read fault code. Alright. Guess we can read the fault code, no DTCs detected, okay. Read data stream. So we have several options here. I do want to look at this calibration data. ID 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And then it has like parameters. So it has 3 pages of whatever calibration parameters, and we haven't gotten there yet, so let's back out of here. Let's see, function test, car computer diag, I don't know what that is. Special function. There's conform CVTF deterioration. So CVTF deterioration date. So that's the number, and I don't exactly know what this number means, but I've read on forums that when this gets to 100,000 units, you change your fluid, and we're about 2/3 of the way there. I don't know. So we do have an option to clear this number. And we don't have this engine brake adjustment feature. And you can actually adjust, how much engine brakes. Oh, there you go. Deterioration date. More than 210,000, it is necessary to change the fluid. Less than 210,000, it is not necessary to change the fluid. So this number, don't go by that. Just go by mileage. I definitely wish I would have changed this fluid before. I mean, it's hard to say at this point. But this number right now is only at 62,000, and we would have to wait until 210 to go by this monitor. So maybe that's not very helpful. It says touch clear after changing CVT fluid, and then erase deterioration date. And yeah, so let's clear that out. Okay. And that's it. Back. Well, we can do engine brake adjustment here. That's pretty neat. Right now it's at 0. We can go up or down. But I think, middle of the road is fine. So let's go back out of here. So we don't want to mess with that. You really reset that. Data monitor. So it just shows you all the data PIDs. Okay. So back out of here. Now we need to, when replacing the transaxle assembly, erase EEPROM and TCM. So let's go to this procedure. There's something on the screen there, isn't there? What the heck is that? I have to clean my lens. So anyways, inspection adjustment. Oh, that might have been from the welder. That sucks. Service after replacing TCM transaxle assembly or control valve. Never start the engine until the service is completed. So if you look at this menu, the TCM, we did not replace the unit, but the transaxle assembly we replaced with new or old unit. So we have to follow this pattern B. And pattern B says turn ignition on, connect the vehicle console 3, start engine, select data monitor, warm up your fluid a little bit to room temperature, and right now outside it's like warmer than this, so we don't even have to worry about that. Select self-diagnostic results in transmission. Self-diagnostic results, so that we might not have in the launch. When you have special function, that's like work support. Function test. What's car computer diag? If you erase the self-diag results, this test may display the false results. If this test judge OK with accept NG detect condition. Can you translate that? Not really. So this looks like self-diagnostic results here. Is that what they're talking about? Shift the selector lever to R position. Depress slightly the accelerator pedal. Angle 2 out of 8, so a quarter, while depressing the brake pedal. Attempt to select erase with step 9. So we can attempt to select erase with step 9. Turn ignition off while keeping the selector in R position. Wait approximately 10 seconds. Turn ignition on. And then select special function. Check that the value in calibration data in console 3 is the same as the data listed below. So these all should go to 0. Move it to park and make sure your indicator comes on. It says P. And that's it. So I'm wondering if we can reset this thing with the launch. We can give it a try. It'll save me a trip to the dealer and it'll make for a pretty cool video. So before starting this procedure, our ATF temp count is at 52, and it says here indicates 47 or greater, so we're in good shape there. Our transmission fluid level is good, so let's try this. Let's get back out of here. So that was under data stream. We want to go to, was it functional test? Computer diag. Okay. So now we depress our brake pedal. 1. Move the selector into R. It does show R. Slightly depress accelerator pedal, about a quarter. Attempt to select erase. Let's just try it. Yes. Okay. Turn ignition switch off while keeping the selector in the R position. So we'll release our pedals. Turn ignition switch off. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Turn ignition switch on. It's in the R position. Select special function and transmission. Check the value calibration data. So now let's back out of here. Back. Data stream, calibration data. And those are still there, so I don't think we did anything. Well, check this out. I just started the car briefly, let it run for a minute, then followed this procedure exactly again, and our calibration data seems to be at 0 now. No kidding. All this other stuff, it is where it is. So now I think we can drive this thing. Let's just read fault codes. No DTCs detected. I'm kind of excited about this. This might have worked. Special function. That should still be at 0. Yep. And functional test. Car computer diag. Okay. Everything looks okay. You can click self diag. It says no DTCs. Alright. Let's shut the key off. Wait a second. Turn the key back on. We are in park. So reverse, neutral, drive, low. Let's take it for a test drive. So we're rolling along. So far so good, but the real test will be get out on the open road and give her the beans. So we're kind of stopped on a steep grade. There we go. Doing its thing. Looks pretty good. So we're standing still. This is about a 8% grade. See how it pulls. Pretty good. Nice. Let's see if the engine brakes. There you go. See the RPMs going up. We're going down a grade. Very good. Drives like a new car. Some people are saying, oh, it has 185,000 miles on it, why are you bothering, you know, paying half of its blue book value to repair it? I mean, this car can go another, whatever, 186,000 miles. Granted, this transmission holds up. This will be the highway cruising test here. Very smooth, good acceleration. And the RPMs drop down normally. I remember at 60 should be around 2,000 once it's cruising in the highest ratio. There you go, so 60 and 2,000. Just like it was before. Well, I'm very impressed with the launch. I actually called Keith up and he said that I had to go to a dealership and that even he didn't have the right equipment to do this, you know, TCM reset procedure. So I think, Keith, your launch can do this. because my outdated one, you know, it took a few tries, but I think if you follow the instructions there, it'll work. So that's it. The Rogue is fixed, and probably the last video, if we can tear down that old transmission, see what went wrong in it, we'll do that. For now, thanks a lot for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye. A little bonus footage here. So it appears that the TCM relearns these calibration values. So we've been driving it around, drives great, and numbers are changing. That's pretty neat. I think my wife will be very pleased to get her car back today. She's actually at work right now, so I'm going to drive this over and pick up my old MPV and give her the keys, and we'll see what her response is. I'll bring the camera along. I'm pretty pleased with this car. The job wasn't that bad, just all nuts and bolts. Nothing was too seized or hard. Just a lot of parts to take off and then a lot of parts to put back on. And yeah, so that's the way to go. Buy your transmission at the dealership and you get the 1 year 12,000 mile warranty. So hopefully in 1 year we'll make sure that this transmission is perfect and long lasting. So I drove to my wife's work just now. We're gonna go out for lunch. I'm driving the Rogue. Let's see what her first reaction is to see this car on the road, because I did tell her that we would need to tow it to a dealership to, you know, reprogram it and everything. Let's see what she says. Well, hi there. Would you like your car back?
You really are a big dork. You do know that. You really are a big dork. Yeah, I am saying hi to the dog first. Wow, it works. Wow.
Drives as good or better than new.
For how many more? 186,000
Oh, I have
more?
no idea.
Guess we'll find out.
We didn't have to go to the dealership. Mr. Lunch pulled through.
Really?
He reset your calibration values
Really?
in your module.
He didn't get flashed? Well, we'll see if I make it home then. We'll see if I make it home. Really?
Yep.
Wow.
He's all learned. And
Really?
are you excited to not drive that thing over there anymore?
I think he's glad I'm not going to drive him anymore.
Oh.
Yeah.
Didn't you enjoy your MPV experience?
I did.
He didn't let you down.
No. No, he did not. No, he did not. Even without second gear.
So the big question is, would you buy a Rogue again if you knew the transmission was going to blow up at 185,000 miles? Tough one, huh?
That's a tough one because I have you. Without you, I would say no, absolutely not. Absolutely not.
What other vehicle would you consider?
Maybe a Forester.
A Subaru Forester? But what about the head gaskets? They start leaking at 100,000 miles. No?
Remember, it's like your brother says, it's not love. That's not what makes a Subaru a Subaru. It's leaky head gaskets.
Yep. Well, there you have it. Interview with the owner. So maybe the next car will be a Subaru when the Rogue craps out again. Hopefully it won't be for a while. But we'll drive until the wheels fall off. Alright guys, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.